everybody, welcome to Arch's Garage. Today and this video we're going to be talking about the Poulan saw, the Wild Thang, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about what I think is the most common problem you will find with this saw. Really is, it seems like every one I've worked on, they're all Poulan saws, so Craftsman makes, their brand on it, right? It's the same saw, same damn thing. They come in green, or they come in the Craftsman colors, the Wild Thang. And we're going to talk a little bit about, I'm going to show you why I think it's the worst saw. Like, it's really the worst saw on the planet. It just is. So let's dig into this thing, and I'm going to show you, why I say it is. And so first we're going to start off with a little bit of a diagnostic just to show you. The saw is not running. Brought to me by my customer. One of my customers doesn't run. He did tell me a bit later that somebody else worked on it. And from what he actually told me now is that he doesn't even want it back. Right? He was hoping I could get like an Echo to work that I have over here, which I'm having a problem with because, the way these things are made today, you can get one that's like the cursed. It's like a cursed machine. All right, stay tuned. Let's check this out. Let's do a quick compression test. I'll yell it out, but just to show you. Wow, check this out, guys. I don't know if you can see it. I know there's glare. So a little over 125, right? And so, we're golden. So we're going to use the plug as we find it, right? Just like pulling it right out. And if you can't see it, I'll yell it out, but because you may not see it, right? But I just want to show you, and hopefully you can kind of see that. It's a little bright in here, so this thing's going to be in the way. I can't take it off. I'm not going to take it off. All right, no spark. Now let's see, is it off? All right, that's on now. So good. We checked the on-off switch this way. All right, we got a good spark. Well, check the gap. Now this is what you're not going to be able to see. There's no good way to get the camera in right over here. Now she's a little bit wide. This is 10 thousandths. That's where I like it. She's a little bit wide. We could tighten that up. Now what happens a lot is this is screwed into plastic, and the coil is screwed down into the body, plastic body. They loosen up. And a lot of times what I do is, I just want to make sure this is clean, right? So this looks good, right? The magnets here, they look fine. I'll put Loctite on, or when I really have a problem, I'll put a piece of tie wrap or a piece of wire or something in, and then the Loctite, just to get that bore to tighten up on that screw. Let me get that off. It's like a hex, but I use my Torx. First thing I noticed, right? As soon as I put my screwdriver on it, it's loose. Okay, it's just loose. So this is so common. The most common problem I find, yeah, that's loose. All right, so this is all loose. All right, the most common problem, and yeah, see, there's the other problem too. Look, can you see? Try to get this in the camera view. Hold on. Push it back down. And there's really little, they don't even go deep enough, honestly, into the bore of the plastic. And then, of course, over here, right, you have a ground. See that grounding strap there? I always say the ground's got to be clean and everything. Well, they also got to be tight, because then it won't ground and you'll have intermittent issues. So this is probably what's wrong with it. I don't think I have anything bigger than this, or longer. So what are we going to do? I want to do the Loctite, and that's probably all we need because it's new. All right, I got something here. It's actually Cat blue thread lock. I think it's blue. Yeah, it's like a blue. I shook it up. It should still be good. These things don't usually go bad. All right, so let's get a little bit in to the bore here, right? I know this thing's going to be in the way. Let it druze down in. Also in here. Give that a few minutes. And we're going to poke it with a piece of steel or something. Or another good thing too that helps is these bread ties. There we go. That breaks the bubble. And then we're going to put some as well on the bolt or screw. Because we'll get it tight. We should be able to get it tight, and so I'm not worried about that, but I want to lock it in. All right, good. Yeah, I am sorry that I can't really get the camera angle. I've tried with a side angle too, and it's really hard, so you can see. So one of the first things you can try is you can put one of these in if yours is not tightening up. This one should tighten, so everything looks good here. Right, if you want, you could take a little wire wheel to that, but it's not in bad shape. This is new, so that won't really do much for us on this one. So let's start off. We got the magnet turned out of the way. And we're going to thread this in just enough so that we get it. We're going to pull it out of our way and just snug it so that when we turn the magnet around, right, it's not going to get pulled in by the magnet. And now we're going to line it up. I just want to show you here. Yeah, here. You might see a little bit of it this way, right? I think so. So we'll turn the magnet there like that, just align the magnet. And then I'm going to drop in my 10,000ths. I like these tight. Loosen them up again. Okay, just like that. Push it in and tighten them up, and let's see if they get nice and tight. Now, I like these long handles because they actually allow me to create a lot more torque. Yeah, that's getting tight. That's tight. It's the vibrations and such. Now, sometimes I've had to try to put longer screws in. That's tight. Okay, that should be tight. And with the Loctite in there, it should set up. So, a little bit better look. Right? Let's pull this out. All right, now a couple of things we can do. Now this is my tranny fluid mix. So just a little bit on these poles, because they get sticky and they rot, and then that doesn't work. And we're going to do the same thing. We're not worried about the carburetor. It is new. Since we washed it all out, right, we're going to do the same thing here. A little bit in the center. And you can use oil too, but this should be fine. And then, we're going to put some where the spring hook is and let it roll down and under, and then pull it a bunch of times. Yeah, it feels sticky, but it's getting better. That's better. Oh, yeah. And plus, you know, the water, right? We don't want to, we can blow it out if you want, but the oil will be left behind, but some of the fuel will evaporate. And now we can put this back, and we're going to give her a test in a few minutes. So let me start reassembling this. It's pretty straightforward. Don't over tighten any of this stuff. Okay? And we'll get it kind of built up a little bit, and we'll give her a regular test. And look, the plug looks good. Now we can clean it a little bit. It really doesn't need it. It looks like it was running fine. Well, we'll clean it, and we'll put it back, and I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, once again, as I'm putting the top on, right, this bottom screw here is a problem. So this had a little bit of Loctite on it. That's a bread tie. And then we're going to just trim it. So I already started the screw. And I didn't get very far before I realized that, you know, it was tripping. Okay, so one bread tie doesn't do it. See what I mean? So I'm going to add a little bit of Loctite, and I'm going to try something else because that one's stripped out. You could use a couple of bread ties because there is some plastic and a wire in it. And try to get it down there all the way. and we'll see. This is what you're going to have to go through, guys. It's not meant to be taken apart. It's not, you know, it's a real homeowner's saw. If you have one of these, you want to take really good care of it, and you'll get a few years out of it, but you're going to encounter problems like this with it. Yeah, see, it still won't. All right, now I'll show you what we'll do now. All right, we're going to go to the next step because it's still not tightening up. Stand by. These are those tie wraps, right? So you want one of the thin ones. This one's fairly thin. So I'm going to stick it in the hole, and then I'm going to start my screw, and I'll trim it. If it feels like it's getting tight, we'll trim it then. Cut off the excess. It should, once I get it started, because I want to drive it in. All right, we're going to trim it. We're going to try to trim it flush. So you're going to need, like, I have these stub nose sort of diagonal cutters. You can see where we are with it. And let's see if it gets tight. This one might be cracked, which I've seen that too. Okay, all right, good. No, we're good. We're good. We're good with that one. That feels good. That feels good. I always start off with a smaller thing and work my way up because, it's going to have to come apart again in the future. Try to keep them clean. One of the nice things about the saw like this is that you can cover this over, you get in there with your hose and a little bit of cleaner, maybe a little super clean, rinse it out, blow it out with compressed air, get it real good and dry, squirt a little bit of lube in there, and run it up a little bit, blow it out, and then put it away for next time. So depending on how much you use it, these are pretty good machines for just cutting firewood and such. So you're not going to get super dirty. You should be able to just take this top off, blow everything out with compressed air, right? And don't get water on it, and try to keep it clean, and then you're good to go. So, all right, let me get the plug cleaned up. We'll get all this stuff back on there. We're not going to put everything on. We're just going to see if it runs. All right, cleaned it up good, but it's measuring out at about a little over 30. So I don't like that. So we're just going to close it up a little bit. I like about 28. Just a little under 30, you know. Some of these things even go to 25, but yeah, that's better. And then I'll put a little bit of no-seas on that. We'll pop it in. And lastly, common tip, this is a gasketed style plug when you have a washer on it. So when you go to tighten it, I've already tightened it, but when you go to tighten it, it's going to feel like it's stripping a little bit. You're going to feel some resistance. Don't worry, right? Go a little bit more. You probably have... Where's my tool? Wherever my tool is. My tool's somewhere. Okay, you probably have one of these kinds of tools. Highly unlikely, right, that you're going to strip it, right, with one of these tools. So tighten it up. Make sure it's good and tight. Highly unlikely. I mean, with a tool like this, yeah, you're not going to strip it, even with that. It's not going to happen. Make sure the ferrule, if there's a ferrule on top, see there's threads there, make sure that's tight. Make sure you're clean in there. I'll put a little bit of my tranny fluid stuff on there. There's no rust in there, okay? Let it warm up. I'm going to let it idle for a minute, let it kind of get warm, and then we're just going to goose the throttle every now and then. She hadn't run a long time. Sounds okay. Yeah, she kicked and screamed a little bit at first, but sounds fine. All right, now you could say that this Poulan series, and maybe even this thing, the Wild Thang, is potentially the worst saw on the planet. You could say that, right? Why is it a wild thing? Why is it any really different than... I've gone through a lot of these, and Sears' version of the Poulan, without the Wild Thang sticker on it, it's marketing hype, okay? And it could very well be the worst saw. There are worse saws. I mean, definitely saws that don't really work. This will work, okay? If you keep after it, you saw what I just went through, right? It always is the case with a magneto or coil loosens up. This time it loosened up and was able to tighten back up again, and we got some Loctite in it. But I went through 2 screws just on the cover, on the pull start cover, on the bottom. All right, they stripped out, and it's probably never even been apart. Like, I'm the first person, so I can't even put it back together. Anyway, it's done. This is what you would typically go through. I don't know if I have the video out yet, but I will release one. It's been in the middle of other videos, and what it is it is an instructional on all the different types of fuel lines that you would want to get, let's say on Amazon or whatever, and what the sizes are, and typically where they go. I think I might put that one out, or I'll put it at the end somewhere in this video. I'm not sure how I want to do that. Depends on how long the video goes. All right, guys. It is informative. I should probably just have it on a separate quickie video so you could see. They sell packs of a multi-pack where you get like a little, like 4 feet of every line. It's worth it. If you want to fix your saw or saws and you want to get into it and now you want to fix them yourself, start off with one of those. Even if you don't use all the fuel lines, right? You have them, and you could maybe use them for other things. You can see what they are. Anyway, we're done with this. It's running well now, and it is still a new saw. It has very good compression. The bar is very good. I just quick sharpening of the chain. I'll see you guys on the next one. I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it, and I can make my customer happy a little bit. I'll see you guys later.